This one brings back a lot of memories. What up with ya? What up, what up, what up? That would be an interesting shot. So good. Oh. Dang. Dang. If you never had Poppy before, prebiotic soda, suggest you try it. It's delicious. I don't know if it's good for you. It's marketed kind of as such. But dang. We're really gonna have to decide which one of these I'm gonna use in the scene, because I want to have one of these in the scene. So first thing to do, migrate. To this folder. OneDrive. Why is that in OneDrive? All places this could go. I didn't mean to install this to my C drive. But okay though. Excuse me. That shit goes hard. Put 3. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Shit. Oh, good. Easy fix. Oh, excuse me.
Way out in front. He's way out in front. Way out in front. He's way out in front. Way out in front. He's way out in front. Way out in front. Watch it. He's way out in front.
Oh, I know what it is. I've got to get rid of a okay, that makes sense. I have a post-process volume in here that is changing the color of my scene. And that's what I don't want. I don't want that post-process volume at all.
Driver, start your engine. 3, 2, 1, go! Hey, go easy on the thing.
And then most of this I can really get rid of. I can't. Let's see. Pretty sure it's this. Set it to 0.
Wow, what a jump! He's way out in front.
So I've got a low poly model of a vehicle here that this is not going to be like in the final version, but it's just going to be here now to help me visualize some rendering of the main menu. Okay, apparently I'm moving it wrong. Fucking thing. What am I grabbing? Ah.
He's way out in front.
So this isn't meant to be seen by the actual camera, but I'm going to set it to where in some of the reflections you can see the smoke and fire. Now let's take this and move it. Hey, you're going the wrong way.
Driver, start your engines. 3, 2, 1, go! He's way out in front. Wow, total destruction. He's way out in front. Oh! He's way out in front. He's way out in front. Oh!
I really don't like how this light affects the smoke at the bottom.
He's way
So I
out
might
in front.
not use it. I don't know.
He's way out in front. You lost your hood.
Thinking.
It's the last one. Oh! Watch it. First.
It's a cool start. This is really just concepting. So that I can get a general idea across and turn it into a video, put it on YouTube.
Driver, start your engines.
Once it's there, people will either support it or make suggestions on how I can make it look better.
2, 1, go!
guess it's not strange.
He's way out in front. He's way out in front.
Now I need to figure out how to create a spring arm for my camera, because what I want is, if you've ever played what's it called? Oh, what's the name of that game? It's a racing game. Race Driver Grid. If you ever played Race Driver Grid, the menu has this 3D effect that I wanted to replicate with this design, so that if you move the right joystick, the menu screen moves in 3D. The camera moves the 3D space, I guess, based on which direction you push the joystick. That's kind of what I'm going for. Turn this music down. So if you couldn't hear what I was saying, I want to be able to replicate this design concept from Race Driver Grid that allows the player to move the joystick, the right joystick, I think it's the right joystick, to control the in-menu camera, and you can kind of pan around the menu in 3D. It's really the look I'm going for. And hopefully this is something that can kind of build up some hype. So that's really the goal, is to just kind of build up a little hype. But this is meant to only be a menu. That's it. No gameplay, no, like, nothing super fancy. Now, I don't understand why this is in the position that it is, but I want those sparks to be in the exact same position as my flame. So let's see if I can move. The sparks are at 0. The volume, though, is not. Okay, so let's see how we can mitigate that. So 0, 0. What happens there? Now, if I move the whole thing, sparks should come with it. So if I could get that to be like highly reflective, which I guess technically it kind of is already. I just, maybe it's the camera location or something. I don't know. Huh. All right then. I fucks with that. I like it. All right, let's figure out which one we're gonna. I feel like this angled camera is probably the better of the two. And then I need to disable that point light. Menu. There's a rectangle light in there somewhere. Where is that? No, there it is. I don't know, man. I kind of like what it looks like. I kind of like what it looks like. Let's go 6 and 6.
Watch it. He's way out in front.
All right, I don't know how to feel about it, but it is what it is. It might not hurt for me to actually pull all these icons out away from the wall. So what I'm going to do is, let's change my viewport resolution, which is here. Okay, it's already set to 66, so window viewport. We're going to open viewport 2. Hey, go easy on the paintwork.
He's way out in front.
Can I group that? Group.
Way out in front.
Undo, undo. Let's grab that too and group it. And I think pulling it out like this actually makes it look that much better.
Way out in front.
Because that way I can also take this rectangle light that I have
He's way out in front. Hey, you're going the wrong way.
and that gives it a little more contrast also. And that way I can modify this rectangle light, make the attenuation slightly bigger.
Way out in front.
So source width, attenuation radius, maybe not by much. Let's go 20. And then intensity.
It's the last lap.
Shit, I don't know, man.
Hey, go easy on the paper.
I think my attenuation radius on the rectangle light is the problem here. Or is it?
3, 2, 1, go! Roadkill.
Could just be my viewing angle.
Hey, go easy on the paper. Wow, total destruction.
Neon light. Oh, shit.
Wow, what a fight.
Excuse me.
Watch it.
I don't think that really makes a difference. So if you go to my YouTube at 901 Corey Owens, CORYOWENS, you'll find in my videos a rendering I did, but I used V-Ray initially because I didn't totally understand Unreal Engine's materials and UVs and whatnot, and how to import models from SketchUp, which all of this was built inside of SketchUp. And I did a lot of just fine detail, like editing to the little assets, the buttons, icons. And I initially exported that as an FBX file from SketchUp to import into Unreal Engine, not knowing about the Datasmith plugin. So this time I wanted to revisit this project because initially all I was doing was an animation. And the video on my YouTube channel is a V-Ray rendering of an animation sequence of PNG images that I put together in a video editing program and put the main menu music on top of. So what I wanted to do with this one is create an interactive 3D menu in the engine to run in real time so that I can take a Xbox controller and pan around the menu and maybe navigate around the menu and have it actually do the flip sequence, which is what you see in the after the title sequence for the Destruction Derby 2 intro. So after the title sequence happens, when the menu comes on screen, it flips, the whole menu like flips, and it's really just like a transition with a sound thrown on top of it. But the same thing happens after a game. So I'm watching gameplay. So I'll go to the end of this map. I think the same thing happens. Let's see if it flips after the loading thing goes away. It loads and it flips like that. So I want that to happen in 3D, and I want the whole sequence to be an Unreal Engine sequence that I can queue up when you play an editor, and then be able to navigate through the menu. So, you know, the challenge right now, which is also my primary focus, is to just create the look and feel of the menu, kind of update it, make it a little more modern. But obviously make it 3D, because I'm quite certain that everything from the original game, minus gameplay obviously, is comprised of 2D sprites and just video transitions and like vector animations. So since I started playing with this project, like I was like, all right, you know, I'm having fun with this, but I think it'd make for a cool series for my channels, so that when I do go and post the updated version of this title sequence and menu, if I recreate the whole title sequence and intro from the game, I want like kind of the documentation to be there that, you know, this isn't, not only is this something that was like a passion project, but you can go back and watch the live footage of me manipulating the assets in the engine. All right, let's set this to very high quality to see if we get any change in like what it looks like in terms of like the reflections. I think that adds a little bit of reflective value. Obviously, if I set one of these to not be real time, this one should perform better. Okay, let me close this viewport. And so you'd only want like you'd want a small spring arm on this camera so that you can kind of move it, you know, maybe from here to there and then up and down. But look at the reflections in the lettering. Since I had a beveled edge on my letters, the whole thing looks really clean and nice. And I just used a bunch of rectangles to create my lights for this, to light the scene. I did have some spotlights in there, and I'm actually probably going to get rid of those. When I imported it, I decided not to use them. And then this is just a temporary car, like a placeholder. Built this out in SketchUp to give me a really simple, kind of like a derby car, really simple derby car. So cage, interior, and my intention was to have a really low poly car here that you could see in the reflection of this rusted metal, but it's not looking very reflective, and maybe that's something I can change. But I like how the lights shine off the edge of the metal sheet, like the way that I have modified this texture to make it super reflective is almost like it's an oil slicked rusted sheet of metal. Okay, you know, and that's where the rust on the buttons also kind of play a role. I'm gonna set this material though to be, how do we have 4 materials on this? Oh, okay. I see what's happening. That's 4. So I'm going to set this rust material to use the UV of the object, and then I'll individually change those UVs, and maybe this will make it look a little better. So let's go to Shift G, Control G, I think. Shift G to ungroup it, and project UVs, box, auto align. Looks like we can go 50. Let's try that and see if there's a better rust material that I can use instead. So we're using Rust 4. What does Rust 3 look like? I don't know, bro. Rust 4 is a little more on brand with what was in the original game. And I don't even know what I projected that UV to be. So let's try this. Project UV 100. I don't know. There's something about it I just don't like.
Hey, go easy on the penguin. Your radiator's blown.
I don't know. I liked it. I guess I like the repetitiveness of this one. In the original game, the menu kind of has that same repetitiveness in the rust of the button. So let me pull up a picture of it and you'll see what I mean. So let's go other, there's got to be images, tool size large. Tool size large. And let's just grab this one. Oh, that's a YouTube video. I don't want that. Or picture. Actually, open image in new tab. There we go. Too tiny.
Roadkill.
Here's mine. Like, mine still looks pretty tight. But, you know, mine shows up as a YouTube video. Which looks like this. Oh. What is this? This was the making of that menu in SketchUp. So I forgot. I have a whole video of me making this in SketchUp, and then this was rendering it with V-Ray and using V-Ray materials. I didn't know how to get that transferred over, and this is making the buttons. So as you can see, I did a lot of this mostly from scratch. Tracing, you know, I traced some of the menu design to create this, and then I rendered it. See if I have a part of the video where I'm rendering it. Here it is. And I mean, I think it looks really cool. Same concept from V-Ray. I should have linked to the final. Let me go to my videos and see if I can find it real quick. Damn, I know I haven't made that many videos since. Oh, there it is. All right, here's the sequence. Which, this one looks a little more like it's oil and like maybe blood. And I do like that kind of dark, oily look. And I wanted to kind of replicate that, which I might still try to do with this material that I have now. I like that red, kind of bloody, oily look. And the specular light that's coming off the top of it. This was the original version of that. And I think it gave a lot of contrast too. I think it felt balanced. Something about this still feels like you're fighting for something's fighting for attention. So maybe it's my rust material. Let's see if we can do a metal tint, what that does. No, that doesn't help. Black. See, that shit kind of looks like blood. And I kind of like it, kind of don't. I wanted to kind of sit in the background a little more. What do y'all think? I think less is more. And then, of course, this still has like those kind of scratchy look to it. If I don't change it, it keeps that scratchy look. So I'll keep it as it is for now. Let's see if I can. Scaling. Paint texture, metal scaling, use paint. Additional damage. Yeah, that's already in there. What happens if I turn that off? See, those little scratches kind of bring it to reality. Like you're talking about destruction derby. You're talking about metal against metal, cars slamming into each other, scratching the paint. Right, so that's kind of what we're going for here. Whereas this menu is supposed to be something that, let's assume that the menu is like somewhere on the track and cars are running into it. Right, that's kind of the effect I wanted to go for, where this thing is all beaten up, kind of rusted, but not over the top to where you can't focus your attention on the menu. So I imagine like a new title sequence to where if you let the menu sit here long enough, you don't press any buttons on the controller, it'll automatically jump into a sequence where cars, you know, they're already kind of loaded into the menu. Consider the menu like its own level. Cars are already loaded, and at some point, if you let the menu sit there long enough, cars will drive by and slam into this menu, right? Maybe like knock some of the buttons off, or break the text, right? Like destroy the text. And then at the end of that sequence, you'll get like one last car sliding up against the metal, helping to create this like kind of scratched up metal look. but that destruction that happens to the Destruction Derby 2 logo, the idea was to have that destruction be kind of like modular, to where every time the sequence runs, it gets destroyed a new way. All right, so I want the text to kind of be this destructible 3D object. I'm gonna Google something real quick.
3, 2, 1, go! Hey, go easy on the Concourse. Wow! Hey, go easy on the Concourse.
Yeah, this is something that I'm gonna look into, because apparently I can just use chaos fracture simulation to destroy this text. And then I can play with that. I don't think I'm going to do that right now, but let's take a look at this video real quick.
So as you can see here, now that I've got it set to play mode in the cache manager, when I hit play it still takes a second, but once it kicks in, the simulation runs at normal speed. So just give it a sec. And boom. So that's basically the final product. So let's go ahead and set up a new version here. So let's save. I'm going to start a new level here, and let's first of all save the current level. So let me go back here to my content. A new group. I'm going to say that it took a few minutes for my computer to process. So for the sake of time, depending on how you want it to fracture, I don't think that looks very good. I kind of am a fan of the big explosions for what I'm trying to go for right now. So let me go back to number. There's the big explosion, then hit play. Boom, does the big explosion. You probably don't even need to cache that, but in like a big level with a bunch of stuff, it would make a difference. So you have to let it play once, is what I've found so far. Then go to actor and just type in cache, and then create. Chaos Cache Manager pops up, and then you're going to save it in the same folder as your other ones, or wherever you want, but that's just where I'm putting it to keep it tidy. And now you'll notice that in your world outliner, Chaos Cache Manager, make sure it's set to record and that it's linked to that correct cache collection and your correct mesh. I think it automatically did that because I already had it selected when I created it, which makes things easier. But then you can just go ahead and hit play. It will run the simulation. You know, in that other one that I did with like 6,000, it took a few minutes to go all the way across. But then when it's recorded, hit stop. Back over here under cache mode, you can go to play. And now it doesn't have to resimulate every time. It's just going right off of the cache. And that is how you get it working in Unreal 5. And I hope this helps someone. If anyone has any questions or tips or feedback on this, feel free to reach out. I hope this helps.
So we're gonna go ahead and save that. We're gonna like that, subscribe to this dude because that was helpful, and then I'm gonna save this in my Unreal Engine folder so I can come back later and find it. Really cool. Like anything that you want to accomplish in the engine, if you just look it up and you know, do a simple search. This is the video I meant to watch. A simple search for what you're trying to accomplish. Usually you don't have to like buy anything new. You don't have to hire anybody to do it. But I'm gonna watch this one real quick and see what it is.
Hello there. Okay, in this tutorial I'm going to teach you guys how to turn your chaos simulation into static meshes. The very first thing you will need is the chaos cache.
Just gonna go to the end and see what he's got. So destroyed.
But here, if you want, you could like export
mesh,
it as FBX.
which
And
is cool.
it's not FBX. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one.
All right, let me go back for a minute. So, assuming that he
Take note
kind of
of that
stopped the
just in case you
simulation
don't.
somewhere.
Once you do that, you click on the cache, whatever. Click on the go to play
Okay,
mode.
Yeah. So you can pick
And mess around with the start time and put it in the
destruction to
position
stop.
that you want it to be.
And this is what I want to do for the text for the Destruction Derby 2 text. Instead of taking it into another program, creating the destruction, importing it into this program, I want everything to be mostly like done in the engine using the engine tools. So I'm going to save this one too. And we'll come back to that for another video. But this text right here, Destruction Derby 2, if you see the menu, wherever that's at, well, the original menu, which it's not really destroyed. There's just some simulated, like this is 2D. I doubt that they created this in 3D to begin with, but they just put some like triangles and kind of created a destructive look to the text, which I might have to kind of do, but I actually want the text to be a little bit broken up in some places, and or at least some sort of simulation to where it shows a car slamming into a wall and then the text falling to pieces and then it kind of like resets itself. But I wanted to actually destroy the text just enough to get it to have some of those pieces kind of broken off around it. And I was looking for a way to do that while also kind of trying to maintain the structure of the text in its broken parts. And initially I was just going to create a bunch of triangles and shapes and do Boolean operations to just like cut out pieces of the shape and like manually place them around the text. But there's a way, there are always ways that you can do this more effectively. And I'm going to try the chaos tools to see if I can just extract some broken version of it. But this is what the menu looks like in the game. And I think what I have now is close enough to this that I can say this is good enough for me. Minus that just text being so perfect. I'm just thinking right now what I want to do with this scene. going to create a third camera here. It's not going to be a cinematic, just a regular camera. And another cool thing I can do if I want is use a VCam to create my own little sequence. And I'll try to do that first. I'll try that first. So we're going to put this camera in this folder. And I'm going to do VCams. So let me do a new folder with these assets in it. Let's see. VDB. Let's say VDB. Rectangle light needs to go into menu. And I can delete all of my regular lighting because we don't need it. What I actually do want to add though is a ultra dynamic sky. Let me see if I have that plugin enabled in here. Total destruction. Wow. Alright, I got ultra dynamic sky somewhere, and I think I might probably try to use that. Ultra dynamic sky. I don't know if this is going to work for 5.5, but let's try it. Let's close this and open it back up. Save. And let's see if we can add like a red sky in here and see if we can get it looking ominous. Okay. Let's go. Plugins. Sky, or just hit installed. And is it here? Doesn't look like it is. I don't think this works for this version. Alright, we're not going to worry about that right now. I think what I want to do is use my tablet to create a sequence. Which means I need to enable VCam plugins.
Wow! Total destruction!
Virtual production utilities, virtual camera core, take recorder. Okay, enable the context of a virtual production stage where multiple machines are in operation. Playlists. Sequencer playlist allows you to prepare, queue, and trigger level sequences on the fly during a virtual production session, providing increased flexibility. Sure. Media framework to support I/O. No, I don't need any of that. Cinecamera rigs. Scene capture. Plugin has the ability to render camera views into rendered targets, ideally to the scene capture. I don't think we need that. Live link, that's one we need, yes. Virtual camera, that's it, I think. Alright, live link control rig, no. Streaming of animated data into Unreal Engine or UEFN. Live link in display, face importer. Live link input devices, game controllers, input device system. I don't think we need this, but we're going to enable it anyway. Live link for OpenVR. I don't need any of that. Live link XR. Not a human. Okay. So let's do this. I'm going to see if I can remember how to do this. Which I think it should be simple. I need to go ipconfig. Move this, let's say here. Project settings. Scroll all the way down to UDP messaging. Address 138. And then I need to add 2 static endpoints. Okay. 192, 168, 1. Need to figure out what my IP address for this tablet is. It's 109. And then put that into the tablet. But first, Let's make sure that we have pixel streaming turned on. Launch signaling server. Let's add a VCAM, so virtual production VCAM actor. And I don't know where it's positioned itself, but let's deactivate it maybe. Yeah, okay, I see.
Watch it. Your radiator's
Maybe we can change the field of view back to 90. And we would want the VCAM actor to be the same shit, all right?
Watch it.
Position this VCAM actor and adjust the focal length. And aperture. So let's go ahead and pilot that real quick. And this gets us, I think, where we need to be. So if I enable it, perfect. Now I need to enter my IP address in, let's pause this here and connect, and then I should be able to do a take recorder. So 192.168.1 and 38. Okay. All right, so I'm holding my tablet in my hand, and it is now the VCAM actor. I'm going to move the microphone away from me for a minute and see if I can just record a quick take with my tablet. All right, I really didn't want to do that, but there we go. Okay, and I think if I double tap, that should zoom. That should focus for us. And then if I hit record, all right, it's recording now. and then I'll just stop the recording. And if I get up and walk around, this is what you'll see. See if I can do another take. 2, 1, 0. So let me show the my webcam behind me. Kind of this is my perspective. I don't know if you can see that. And I'll stop this take. And I'll pause my feed and I'll walk back to the webcam so you can see what I'm doing. I don't know what y'all can see, but I'm gonna keep this moving for a minute so that I can get like the entire title sequence music maybe inside of a single animation. Might feel like it takes forever, but when I turn on the music for it, I want it to overlap and have enough, I guess, motion footage to not cut off. So I'm kind of thinking in my head, let's see, this doesn't tell me how long I've been shooting, I don't think. We are 30 FPS. Does it give me a time for this take by chance? Doesn't look like it does. I'll keep going just a little bit longer. I'm gonna count to like 120 in my head. Maybe just 60. Almost done. Adding another 20 seconds. 1. Okay, that was a long take. But I think let's move ourselves back in a position. And pause. And then what I'll do is I will disable the VCam. And let's go into my sequencer and find take recorder. Take recorder has to be on here somewhere. So let's search for take recorder. So window, and let's just search for take. And let's do take recorder's already open somewhere. Let's do take browser. So let me just click it. There it is. And let me dock it there. And then let me open also take browser. And inside of takes browser, scene 1, take 3 is what I want. So let me double click it. It should pop into my sequencer. And then now I should be able to dock this into my viewport. So Shift C will bring this into my viewport. So Shift C. And I'm going to cue the menu music, which is only 2 minutes and 49 seconds. So maybe I got enough of a take. Maybe I got a long enough take. And I'm going to hit play. I don't know that I can put like an audio file in there, but let me go ahead and just play the music. But let me turn it up for you. And then we'll watch this take together. So the concept, like this isn't a final thing. Of course, I'm just kind of exaggerating. The camera shakes a little bit. But the concept is, well, maybe I could even like put a helmet on the POV camera and have the visor. This view to be from the inside of a visor. The concept is, as ominous as this music is, this is from the point of view of someone who just got into a wreck and their car is absolutely totally going up in flames. But you're at the menu, right? So to pitch this and say, hey, we want to do a Destruction Derby 2 remake, and we want it to feel immersive, not a VR experience. Maybe that would be kind of cool. You could go VR, but you know, that's a little bit. My bad. I keep forgetting about the music. I want to pitch this to someone and build a small team around the redevelopment of this game and like this recreation of this game and have a more immersive experience. But again, this is the point of view of the driver. That's stuck in this burning car. That's pretty cool, you know. So this is the art of like conceptualization. You conceptualizing, a new take on the Destruction Derby 2 game. Those reflections look awesome. I want to see what this looks like if I go into cinematic. It's probably going to do a lot of flickering since I'm live streaming also. So let's keep it epic and change the screen percentage to 125. All right, yeah. So a little much. I'm exaggerating to show the quality of the take recorder, recording my movement into a sequence, which I can then go and manipulate if I need. But I'm using my iPad with Live Link and VCam, virtual production tools, to remotely control the camera in the scene and create this sequence. Now, if I go and export this as a video and upload it to YouTube, people aren't going to know how this was done. But I think it looks pretty solid. So let me go back and set this to not be custom. Let's make it a little more smooth. That was it. That was the end. So really cool. I mean, this is so awesome that all these tools are like readily available at my disposal. Okay, that's it. So I recorded enough of a take, I think, like a long enough take to be able to play through the menu music twice. And this is great for exporting a sequence. But I think that's enough. That's all I got for now, I think. That's all I'm going to do today. I'm satisfied with what this looks like. I thoroughly enjoy being able to create these scenes directly in the engine. Let's see, what do we got here? This select tube is, I turned it off. Guess I did. Can I center the... So let's go to modeling mode. Edit pivot, center. What? Top left, right. What do we got? Select to button. Back, front, center. Oh, cancel. Edit pivot, center, accept. And let's scale it and see what it looks like. Let's move it along the green axis. Nope. Let's turn the rectangle light off. Maybe we can set our rectangle light to be 0.1. Or 0.01. That's better. And save. And let's see if our take recorder is gonna keep that information. I really want to see what these icons would look like if they were Chrome. So let's pause. And let's see what these look like. Chrome. I know that we have a Chrome material. Ah, that kind of looks cool. I ain't gonna lie. But we can't see our flames, and that's what I don't like. I don't like that I can't see our flames. Like in the reflection of the chrome. I want to be able to see this car on fire. But that at least gives us... That's originally what I wanted for the background to look like. That metal sheet, the big metal sheet. To be able to visualize that there's a car here. But there's always some work that needs to be done. And I think if we add a reflection actor, I can probably fix that issue easily. I don't know about y'all, but I'm fascinated just watching this. I'm going to do a screen recording of it. and upload it to YouTube. Oh, here's that SketchUp file, by the way. So I just created a bunch of blocks that I intended to use for as emissives. This was supposed to be a directional light with a real light source. Those are guides. We have a car, and I used a text, like a 3D text shape. Or actually, I think I imported this as a vector from Affinity Designer, created the number, and I extruded it so that I can intersect it with the actual body of the car, so that I can have a physical mesh to extract instead of using a decal. So I just intersected the text in the car, which is how I got the number from the Unreal Engine scene. And this is just a low poly car model that I wanted to use for the reflection. For the emissive light, I just created a mesh and added an emissive texture to it. And then all of these little objects here, I created and used those to basically cut the shapes out of the button. So I did a Boolean operation to cut those shapes. I'll save it. Purged, unused, no. All right, so let's do a video recording of the entire screen. And then let's restart our music. I'm gonna just go ahead and press start. And I'm gonna let this play through twice. So I just noticed something that I want to modify. Wrecking Racing Practice is actually this icon. So I'm going to let me stop this playback. Let me grab this mesh and my rectangle light. Let me actually delete the second button. Edit, delete. Since I'm going to turn this into a video, and we're going to move this over here. Let's undock that real quick and then go to, I think this is front. Yeah. Let's just make sure this is centered. That looks pretty good. Okay, then go back to perspective. Let's dock our camera back. Maybe move this a hair, just kind of like make it look better from this perspective. Disable everything or deselect everything. And let's restart the recording. No microphone input. We do want desktop input. Start the recording. Gonna let it do a second take. Just for the YouTube video. All right, cool. So honestly, that was like, for me, outside of the stream, about an hour worth of work to get to that point. And the purpose of this is to create a concept, and then build off of that concept with some real development later. And you can think of it as, trying to think of the term that people use when they previs. You can think of it as a previs that's high detailed. It's like you pre-visualize a scene in a movie using 3D assets and building out a scene on like a whiteboard, so that you can, or on paper, to see exactly how the actors are going to move through the scene, where the cameras are going to be, what props are going to be in the scene that are like hero props. And then from that pre-visualization, you can create a game plan to build the entire shot in the real world. Obviously this is going to be a video game remake, but the goal here is just to come up with something that looks cool and see who wants to support it. So I'm going to take that. Let's go and open it in Clipchamp, and then we'll just simply export it. I think the audio should be already in here since we're playing it from the computer. So let's press play and see. Okay, cool. That's good enough for me. It doesn't got to be perfect. Just going to do a 4K export. A 1080p export. I want to say AR/VR because this was like an augmented reality recording. But let's see what people think about it. So let's go to open screen recordings folder and let's delete all these screen recordings and close this. And we're going to upload this to YouTube right away. So it's going to be on my YouTube channel in 10 minutes. All right, added this to my playlist, and it's going to be under the Unreal Engine. Let's see. I don't think I want to do Memphis Meta. So video games, making video games for fun, 3D rendering, SketchUp, V-Ray, Unreal Engine, designing video games for fun, and yeah, we're going to put that into those two playlists. Not made for kids, show more, no altered content, no automatic chapters, no automatic places, no automatic concept, and we're going to add tags. So UE5, Unreal Engine, Destruction Derby 2, PlayStation. I think this was a PlayStation 1 game. Let me think. All right, I got 400 more characters I can put into these tags on YouTube for somebody to find this. Live link take recorder, virtual production, remake, remastered, I don't know, menu, soundtrack, jug. What's the name of this song? I forgot. Destruction Derby 2, jug, main menu music. It's I just need to Google it. Jug. Joyrider. Can't think of anything else to add, so I think I'm going to leave it at that. Augmented reality, virtual reality, menu, AR kit. Okay, that's enough. And let's see. Category, gaming, game title. Destruction Derby 2 from 1996. Wow. I guess I was 6 when I had this game. Comments and ratings, moderation. We don't need to hold any comments for now. Don't show how many viewers like the video. 91%, 37 seconds left. Okay, next. I think I can add my own image, so I think I'm going to do that. So let's minimize this. Let's bring this back to lit. And let's deselect that. And then let's do a screen snip. And let's just grab this part of the screen. Close that. Should be able to add my own image here. So let's click next. Let's see. Visibility. Add in screen. Let's just import from one of the other videos. I don't think it matters. We're not going to worry about that right now. Discard. Next. Next. Wait, where do I add the image? Upload. Screenshots. 2 megabytes. Jesus. Okay. Let me find the image then real quick. So pictures, screenshots. Let me right click and open with photos. And let me save this as a JPEG, I guess. Let's see. Save as JPG. Okay. And I should be able to upload that one. And next, public, next, publish. All right, it's live on YouTube if you want to go check it out. Obviously, you're watching it live, so you don't need to go to YouTube to look at it, but it's there. Working quickly. Oh, Lordy. And I think I'm going to call it a morning. Call it a night. I think that was really cool. Really fun, really interesting. And I'll go live next time I mess with this, I guess. Excuse me. So we're going to save that and close it and be done. Happy with that. I will put it on Fab Marketplace or something, or put it on Patreon so people can like buy it, open it, play with it, look at it. I'll also create an executable to where you can just like open it and then be able to like kind of move the camera around as if you were in a real menu. And I'll see y'all in another video. I'm out. Peace. I'm going to say, sup, BRB.